Today is a very solemn day across the country as Americans think back to where they were on September 11th, 2001.
That day will be forever remembered for the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. The World Trade Center in New York and the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. took direct hits.
3 planes were hijacked shortly after takeoff, and at 8:46 a.m., one of those planes, American Airlines Flight 11, flew into the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
16 minutes later, Flight 175 hit the South Tower. Both towers collapsed, and more than 3,000 people were killed in the worst terror attack on U.S. soil.
American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, while United Airlines Flight 93 crashed in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Experts believe that the flight was headed to either Congress or even the White House.
One of our teachers, Mr. Huber, worked for the government and was on a team that helped capture Osama Bin Laden, the man behind the attacks.
Here's his story.
I'm Charlie Huber. I'm a teacher here at American Heritage Palm Beach campus and am one of the pre-engineering program directors. I was an aerospace engineer for the Department of Defense for 35 years. I worked at the Pentagon from 1998 to 2000 during Operation Allied Force when we were bombing Serbia because the Serbians had attacked Kosovo and were systematically committing genocide on Kosovo Albanians. And we chose not to let another Hitler happen again.
They have made the United States their adversary precisely because of what we stand for and what we stand against.
So I worked at the Pentagon until 2000, and then after that I went back to Defense Intelligence Agency. And September 11th happened, and of course that was a horrible thing, and from where we were at Defense Intelligence Agency we could actually look across the river and saw the Pentagon on fire. And at that point we were pretty scared, to be honest with you, that maybe a plane was headed toward our intelligence agency, because it was no secret that that's what our building was. There's a big sign that you could see from the highway. We figured we were a pretty high value target, but we had a job to do. We knew that we had to figure out what was going on and where they were going. So from the intelligence standpoint, we decided to stay at our post and try to figure out what was going on. And we did not evacuate the building. We stayed, and fortunately, they did not attack our building. In fact, the 4th plane was headed for Congress and the Capitol building, and we didn't know that until later. But that plane, Flight 93, crashed in a field in Pennsylvania due to the heroic efforts of the passengers. Shortly after that, I had moved to Naval Surface Warfare Center, Indian Head Division, just outside of Washington, D.C., where I basically helped design explosives for 15 years. And right after September 11th, we were trying to get the people who did it, and that was Osama Bin Laden was the main guy in charge.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
I want to say probably about a year later, it had been a long time, but probably a year later, SEAL Team 6 actually visited our base and thanked us for designing explosives that worked properly, and none of them were injured from the explosions. I'm just very proud to have served our nation in this capacity. While I wasn't in the military, I was a civilian engineer working for the military. So I'm very proud of my career.